next one's going to be a fun one as well. I think this is going to be somebody that we all say he's go get him, and that is going to be Carlos Jorge. Carlos Jorge is with the High A affiliate with the Cincinnati Reds. They're still doing it. The Reds have a good something going. I don't know what it is about the Reds right now, but they're on fire. Their major league club is looking promising. Ross is probably going to tell me that they're going to blow it. But he's 5'10", 160 pounds. He's age 20. He won't be 21 until the later parts of next year, but he is already at the High A affiliate for the Reds. In 2023, he's had 386 at bats. He has batted .282 with an on base of .374, slugged .464 with an on base plus slugging of .838. He has 32 stolen bases, only caught 9 times, 12 home runs to add on top of that. He struck out 100 times, walked 52, 14 doubles, 10 triples, which you start hitting double-digit triples, and you kind of got to keep an eye on it and say, what the heck's going on here? Is he a speed guy, or is he just hitting it into the gap in the perfect spot and then being able to get around the bases? I like triples. I think they turn into home runs really easily. But guys, go at it. Carlos Jorge for the Reds.
It's an interesting one because I actually think that triples are less likely than doubles to turn into home runs.
Are they just gappers?
I agree.
I think it's more of an indication of speed, which is interesting I mean, there's hitting that's involved too. You're not going to be dinking that thing off and getting a triple most times, right? And I think there's like a interesting comp. This is not an STS comp, but as you're quoting those stats, the name that comes to mind to me is like Curtis Granderson. Sure. He was the kind of guy that did that. He hit for pretty decent power. He was pretty decent on the base paths and triples, man. He was getting triples because he has that nice combination of things. And I don't know exactly what Carlos Jorge does like extremely well. By all reports I've read and heard from people that are very smart, he's not exactly a burner, and he doesn't hit the ball with
authority.
Well, he doesn't have like high exit velocity numbers and stuff like that. So it's not like he's a masher either, but the combination of those skills seems to work really well. And he's got 32 stolen bases. So maybe not a burner, but like he's fast enough. He clearly is, or he's got great instincts. And seeing him, he looks athletic. He looks like he's a very athletic guy to me. Like he just has it. And maybe that's kind of like the Curtis Granderson style of build, just athletic. He's just an athlete, can kind of do it all.
Sure.
And maybe it's the totality of parts in this case that makes him the player that he is, and it doesn't need to be exceptional in any one area. But I'm really interested. I'm intrigued. The one red flag is that he did struggle quite a bit when he moved up to High A compared to how he was performing. So that's something you want to watch. It doesn't mean it's a huge concern, but it means like he was getting challenged a little bit more and he wasn't quite playing up to that level anymore. But we are also talking about a guy with nearly 800 plate appearances and great numbers across the board. I think you have to open your eyes on Carlos Jorge, stop being a hater, and start accepting there's something here that works. I mean, and I say that very pointedly because there are some people that they've pointed out these things, not high exit velocities. He's not a burner on the base paths. He's not this. He's not that. And it's like, okay, but something is working here. It's not a small sample anymore. And he's done it consistently throughout his career. So open your eyes, accept that there's something here that's working, and make sure you watch it closely going into next year. He's not going to be easy to obtain. So I don't know that he's a full-fledged go get him at this point, but like, yeah, I'd be trying to acquire him, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have much to add. He's already 20. I'll be interested I'm going to pay close attention to him beginning of next year, just to see how he does in high A. Because if he might just be, well, we don't. He's a young guy. Jesus, who knows?
He's already 20. He's old.
Yep.
Right. I can't believe. Yeah.
Sell high. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Two more things to point out here that I think are really interesting. He has some of the best projections for power speed combo on STS, projecting for 20 home runs and 25 stolen bases. That's really good. Really good. You can get a 2020 Jose Ramirez type of talent here, according to those numbers anyway. And he draws a comp to Ryan Sandberg, which is awesome. Yeah, you'd want that guy, no doubt. So Carlos Jorge, I like him.
Yeah, just to kind of trampoline off Ryan again, we have a player that is going to be 20 years old all of next year, and he's going to be playing at high A. There's a really good chance that we're going to have a 20-year-old in double A at this player. There's a really good chance that he's going to – I say that a really good chance and not say that it's an absolute bank, because the Reds do have some players. The Reds have some players in their farm system that could be not quite necessarily blocking him, but maybe the Reds want to see somebody above him. I like what the Reds have done as an organization in the past, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. They've done some really good things. So Carlos, I would be watching this really closely in the early seasons, because this could be a really quick call up to double A.
Well, and I think this is a really interesting case to watch and compare to Hao-Yu Lee this year, because Hao-Yu Lee didn't make that jump to the double A level, right?
Sure.
And so, and with Carlos Jorge's small taste at high A, you have to wonder if, he's going to have some, an adaptation period there or not. If he doesn't, then, you want to be on him. Yeah. You want to be on him. If he does, then we might be looking at a Hao-Yu Lee type of trajectory going into 2025.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
These kids got to learn, right? At double A, at 20 years old, you're playing against major leaguers that are coming off of injuries. And that's why I love double A stats so much, is you're playing against guys that are just starting to warm up to go back up to the pros.
Yep. Worth mentioning, his ETA is 2026 on STS.
I'll put it a year above 2025 or 4. Yeah, 5.
Okay, so that would put him at 21.
21 years old in the pros.
That's pretty good.
For me, he's a go get him. I like Carlos Jorge a lot.
I think I probably could endorse a go get him too, because I don't think he's overrated by anyone. In places, he's probably not even a top 100 prospect some places. So it just depends on the owner in this situation, in my opinion.
Yep. There it is. Carlos Jorge.